What I'm about to show you is the gadget that had the single biggest impacts on my gaming and game dev life in the last few years. It's made me play more games. It's made me understand more games. It's made me learn about game design. It's made my games more accessible. It's helped me in so many different ways. It's changed the way I travel, changed the way I experience stuff. There's a lot. So let me just get to it. I bought a lot. Okay, let's be honest. I buy a lot of tech. I'm a tech junkie. Probably more than I should, but I did not expect the value that I've gotten out of this. Here it is. The Steam Deck. Now, before you're like, yeah, I heard about the Steam Deck, all that stuff. Cool, it's cool. But I'm going to tell you some stuff that's cool that you probably didn't know. Number one, it's a tax write-off. This is a business expense. If you run a game development company, hardware is a business expense in the United States. So it's for the business, right? It's for the, now mine it happens to be poorly modified and in a case. So, don't judge me. This has been very well used. But I love this thing. I legitimately love this thing. So number one, it's a tax write-off. Number two, the other obvious one is it helps you do research with games. Now you might be thinking, oh yeah, Steam Deck can play Steam games. Sure, it can play Steam games, but guess what else it can play? Emulators. Old school all the way from Nintendo, Game Boy Advance, Sega Genesis, Nintendo 64, GameCube, literally all of that, all the way up to Nintendo Switch. Although good luck trying to get a hold of a Nintendo Switch emulator these days. All of that, literally all of that. There's emulators for everything. There's guides online that'll walk you through how to install all this. It was super easy to set up, and I have it all running on my Steam Deck. Number two, the Heroic Launcher allows you to play Epic games and GOG games. So if you're like me and you have a giant library of Epic games that you haven't been playing, you can install them on your Steam Deck with Heroic Launcher, and you can have them launch in the default Steam interface, which is insane. In addition to that, Game Pass. You can literally play Xbox Cloud Gaming from this device, which means you can have access to any of the games in the Game Pass library. I played everything from Fallout to Call of Duty to all kinds of, to a lot of the more indie titles that launched there, which I personally love because Game Pass is like the best way that I can experience games, dude. I like to play 10 to 40 minutes of a bunch of games rather than 400 minutes in a single game, if that makes sense. This thing can play Android games. You can emulate Android games on here. You can remote play Xbox, Steam, and PS5. All that to say, if you're doing research for your game dev projects, this thing is the way to go. Now, you may or may not know this, but developing for Steam Deck technically takes no work, which means your game will run on Steam Deck automatically if you ship it on Steam. So you put your game on Steam, it runs on Steam Deck immediately. There are little touchpads on the side here. These are pretty awesome. Because they act as touchpads, but they also act as sort of like roller balls, if that makes sense. So they have sort of haptic feedback in them. So your game is running on Steam Deck automatically. Now, if you have controller support, right? If you just make basic Xbox controller support, it'll work with the native controls automatically. So if you're planning on adding controller support, it's pretty great to just be able to test with the Steam Deck. It's a great testing device. It's perfect for testing lower end machines and stuff like that. Although hardware on this is not bad either. Now, developing for Steam Deck technically takes no work, but designing for Steam Deck is quite different. So like I said, if you want to make controller support, Steam Deck built in is pretty cool because it's so easy, dude. It's all built in and you can just test your game right away with the Steam build. You don't need to make a Linux build of your game or anything like that. Like literally this runs Windows games. It's a Linux based software, but it runs Windows games. The other thing is this just forces you to think a little differently. Like with PC games, I think we get lazy sometimes because we try to design everything for a mouse and keyboard, and it's like, maybe that's not the best way to do things. Maybe you don't need to add 17 keys for every single action. So it's legitimately fantastic for research. It's great for designing controller support and accessibility and that kind of stuff. It's also a PC. It's a Linux desktop PC, which means I can boot into the PC version of this and have a web browser and do word processing and do spreadsheets and do all of that. When I travel sometimes I just bring this, and like you can bring a keyboard or a mouse or whatever, and you've got a whole PC. If you don't need like a full laptop setup, this does most of your PC stuff just off the bat. You can attach a dongle or a dock to that and explode it out with Ethernet, with HDMI, and all that stuff. So you can connect this to an actual monitor with a full keyboard and mouse and have a full desktop experience, which is kind of insane. I think it's got a lot of advantages for developers, especially if you like tech. This is like the single gaming machine that I bring now when I go travel. I don't bring my Switch anymore because I've got my emulated Switch games right on it. I don't bring my ROM emulator device because I got my ROMs right on it. I don't have to bring my laptop because I got my Steam games and my Epic games right on it. I never brought my Xbox traveling, but now I got my Xbox games there too. So it has allowed me to experience the design of so many beautiful indie games. It's helped me become a better designer because of that. And it's really made the experience of it all kind of magical because of a lot of little things. So one of the coolest features that I think is really awesome about this is the power button acts as a suspend feature. So you can turn the system on or off, but when you're in the middle of a game, you can hit the power button and it'll go into suspend mode. So whatever game you're in, it'll sleep with that game still running. So when you press the power button again, you're exactly where you left off in the game. As a new dad, this has been like super helpful because the amount of times I'm in the middle of a game and then I hear a baby crying and I have to like pause it, just turn it off for a second, come back to it, even an hour later sometimes, pick up where I left off, which is amazing. And I tried this on like Battleborn too, and it's insane that it works on my own game, and I didn't do anything like that. Like I didn't develop that, I didn't put that feature in. Steam just did it for me automatically. The hardware in this thing, dude, is a tinkerer's dream. All of this stuff is replaceable. These sticks are replaceable. The SSD inside is replaceable. It's super friendly to work on. Like, there's no bullshit where they solder everything to the board. It legitimately is one of the best pieces of hardware I've ever owned. And dude, I don't have anything bad to say about it. It's so this is legit. This is not sponsored. I swear to God, Valve's not paying me. I use this thing more than I ever thought I would. This, by the way, is the cheapest base model you can get. This is the 64 gigabyte LCD version, and I'm kicking myself because I didn't think I was going to like it that much. I just bought it to test Steam games, but then it became my most used piece of technology, like in the entire house. A couple of things I want to geek out about real quick. So there's a feature where you can connect your phone to it, and you can play a podcast on your phone. The podcast will come out of the speakers and mix with the game volume. So if you're wearing headphones connected to the Steam Deck, you can connect your phone to this, play a podcast, mix it with the game volume, and you've got them both there, which is amazing. It's got pass-through charging, which means I can charge my phone with this device. That's come in handy a few times. The nostalgia for a handheld is probably real. Let's be honest about that. My generation grew up on handhelds, and it's kind of amazing to have a handheld so good. It's massive, but it's so good. And then there are also thousands of little plugins that you can install and mess with and fidget with and customize and modify and all that stuff. Like, if I tell you everything I love about this, we're going to be here all day. So I'll probably end it there. But I just want you to know, again, this is not a sponsored video. I legitimately love this thing. I think this is the best investment that I've made in a long time. It has helped me experience way more indie games than I ever thought that I would, because they're so accessible at my fingertips now. And it has been one of the best experiences that I've had in a very, very long time. And I want to thank Valve for that, dude, because I don't think any other company could have pulled this off. And I legitimately respect and appreciate the lengths with which they went through to make this thing so awesome. So if you're looking at upgrading something, if you're looking at getting a new handheld, if you're looking at tech gadgets, this is the one. It's got my recommendation, and I think everybody should own one. So until next time, my name is Tim Rustwick, and I'll see you in the next video.